What's up, everybody? Christopher Dixon here. We're in our video series, 20 Tips for 2020, that is specifically designed to help grow or revitalize your church, your business, or your small to medium-sized nonprofit organization. And when we started this video series, this is the 7th one in the series. When we started it a few months back in the early spring of 2020, we of course had no idea what was in store for the year. All of the craziness that was to come shortly after we began this series. As a matter of fact, most of us who are leaders, whether that's in the church sector or business or the nonprofit sector, and you've heard me say this if you've been watching this video series, we want to just hit the reset button. We wish 2020 hadn't even become a year and we could just fast forward to 2021. That being said, we want to hold on. We want to survive 2020 and we want to do everything that we can to grow or revitalize our business. If you're a leader or you own that business, certainly if you're involved in church work like some of us are, or if you have a nonprofit organization that is really juggling and shifting funds right now because you say, hey, you know what? Once we get through all this craziness, we are going to see better days ahead, as certainly as 2021 gets here and we move through what has turned out to be a pretty crazy year for 2020. So we've talked a little bit about this video series, some things that we should know as men and women who lead in our various capacities in our organization. So we've talked a little bit about social media and change and being able to adapt in this crazy environment. So I want to spend like 2 minutes just talking about something that has really affected when we look and talk with leaders in their small, whether it's a local nonprofit or a nonprofit reaches beyond the community, various church sizes. So if you're a pastor or a leader in a church, and this really affects churches from very, very small to very, very large. And then certainly as your business seeks to hang on and then perhaps grow as we move through these kind of crazy months ahead. And that is this. We talk about how important it is to be able to identify when the tide is shifting and when things are changing. Well, how this relates to change, specifically for you and I as leaders, is this. One of the things I think it's natural for us as human beings is we want to see things sometimes either through overly pessimistic glasses, like Chicken Little, the sky is falling, and if you're not familiar with that children's story, then that's one that you need to become familiar with. Chicken Little said, hey, the sky is literally caving in, and of course it's not. So that's the pessimistic worldview. And then of course there's the rose-colored glasses worldview where everything's great. We tend to, as leaders, sometimes want to see things through our rose-colored glasses. My challenge for you here as summer begins in 2020 is to look at things not necessarily from a pessimistic point of view, but certainly not with rose-colored glasses. And my challenge to you is this. Make a list with those. If you lead by yourself, then sit down and write out a list. But if you lead with other men and women, write out an area that your organization or your church or your business has 1 or 2 or 3 weaknesses. You don't have to pick 7 or 8 weaknesses. Another way to phrase weaknesses is opportunities. Opportunities for growth. I would challenge you to pick somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 to 3, probably 3 being the optimal number, of areas of opportunity where we have to improve. That may be we need to improve our social media presence. We may need to have a greater cash reserve. We may need to improve our infrastructure of people, which is often the case. Hey, it's just me here, and if I get sick, I don't have someone to help post or help do these different things while I would be down and out and sick. So that is our challenge for you in this time period as we begin summer of 2020. Know your weaknesses, identify them, view them as opportunities to make your business, church, or organization stronger, and then take those and start implementing how you are going to change your business, your church, your organization, so that those opportunities segue into growth. In the meantime, we'll be back again here in the next week or two. Look forward to talking with you again soon.